All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahawah, BASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BASHIM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the whole fact of Israel. And the title's lesson is going to be, He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and get started and get into the scriptures. Revelation 13 and verse 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right, so he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And so what does that paint in your mind? That paints what? Our history. Going to the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, we were led into captivity by who? By the self-proclaimed white man, okay? Which goes back to the biblical Edomites. All right, read Malachi, the first chapter in the 4th verse. It will tell you that is the people whom the Lord hates. All right? The Lord hates Esau, okay? And they are the devil the Bible speaks of. They are the wicked. They are the children of the wicked one, okay? And they led us into captivity. All right, so what is that going to bring on to them? All right, they themselves are going to go into captivity under us, okay? Because this is going into, we're going to finish up that precept. It says, here is the patience and the faith of the saints, because, you know, we know that ultimately, you know, going to this knowledge, all right, and really the acknowledgement of why we were in that position in the first place, going into us being made captives, is because we sinned against our Lord, YAHAWASHI. All right, but that punishment wasn't a forever thing. All right, that's why scriptures talk about, you know, they have furthered the affliction. Okay, you know, you go into Isaiah, it says, thou hast heavily laid the yoke. All right, which I'll get that, but let me read this again. Revelation 13 and verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So guess what? You so-called white people are going into slavery. All right, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So, you know, scriptures talk about in the book of Obadiah that reward shall return upon their own head. All right, it says, here's the patience and the faith of the saints, who are the saints, the Israelites. Okay, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Are you the children of YAHAWASHI, the children of God? Okay, but what was I gonna get? I was going to get oh yeah, Isaiah heavily laid the yoke and showed no mercy. All right, so no mercy is going to be shown unto you. All right, so here going into it, Isaiah 47, and I'll start at verse 6. I was wroth with my people. All right, who is the Lord's people? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the Israelites. All right, going to the 12 tribes. Okay, I have polluted mine inheritance. All right, and how that happened? Because we discontinue from it. All right, we discontinue from our heritage. Okay, we've been cut off. All right, really, the Lord turned his back on us for a point in time. All right, so we have been polluted. Okay, because we've been given over to the robbers. Okay, these Edomites. All right, it says, and given them into thy hand. Okay, because you go into this chapter, you know, it's going into the daughter of the Chaldeans. Okay, you know, which corner prophecy, you know, is so-called white men. All right, it says, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. So we know the Lord gave us over unto you devils. Okay, because why? Again, we sinned against our power. So the Lord said he was wroth, he was angry. But what? Continuing, thou didst shew them no mercy. All right, we got showed no mercy. All right, you know, and because this devil, because of his pure hatred he has toward you so-called Negroes, Latinos, the Americans, which goes back to the womb. You go back to the story of Jacob and Esau. All right, they hated each other before they were even birthed. All right, they were fighting in the womb. Okay, so that pure hatred, okay, this devil pretty much went to avenge himself, all right, upon us. All right, so guess what's gonna happen to him? All right, he's gonna be punished for what he did unto the Lord's people here. Continuing, and thou hast and so upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Okay, the yoke. Okay, as you go into the curses in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, it says he's going to put a yoke of iron on our neck. Okay, you Google search a yoke of iron, what pops up? All right, us. Okay, you know, so-called Negro. Okay, which is going to the southern kingdom. All right, which would be the tribe of Judah. All right, they were brought over here in cargo slave ships. Okay, not just Judah, but Benjamin and Levi, and also, you know, because there will be some northern tribes mixed and mingled, you know, within that number. Okay, going to the cargo slave ship. You know, the transatlantic slave trade, you had northern tribes on those ships. But nonetheless, for the majority, for the most part, you had the southern kingdom brought over here on slave ships going to prophecy. So here, this is the curse. This is Deuteronomy 28, and I'll start at I'll just read 48. I'll start at verse 48. Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, because if you read up to the 15th verse, it says, if we don't hearken unto the words of YAHAWASHI, these curses are going to come upon us. All right, they're going to cleave unto us. Okay, it says, it's going to pursue us. All right, pretty much we can't escape these curses. All right, and it's going to be for a sign and a wonder. All right, so it's verse 48. Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So this is prophecy, okay? A yoke of iron was put on our neck because we literally served slavery. All right, and the yoke of iron, and now in today's times, okay, in 2020, it's a spiritual yoke, okay? On our pretty much our mind, okay? We're mind controlled. That's why you have things like Stockholm syndrome, okay? We've been mentally destroyed. All right, first physically, first mentally, then physically. All right. So it says, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed you. So, hey, that's again going into a sign and a wonder. This is what happened unto us. The so-called white man put a yoke of iron on our people, okay, upon our necks. Google search yoke of iron. That's verse 49. The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Okay, and then again, this is speaking for itself. This is verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young. Okay, so this is what happened unto us. Okay, going into that fierce countenance is devil again. Show no mercy. Okay, he didn't flinch. Okay, and he actually rejoiced. Okay, he enjoyed doing what he did unto us. Still to this day, he takes pride in it because that's his heritage. All right, going to the heritage of the oppressor. All right, his whole identity is to destroy you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so again, this is what happened unto us. But we just read in Revelation 13 chapter, it says that he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So yeah, Esau got, they say he got one on us. Okay, but what? At the end of the day, he's getting ready to be put in a perpetual slavery. All right, there's not going to be no freedom. All right, and at the end of the time of his slavery, he's going into perdition, meaning destruction. He's gonna be done away with. All right, but from here, let me get where can I go? I can go here. It's Isaiah 14. I start at the top. Isaiah 14 verse 1. For the Lord YAHAWASHI will have mercy on Jacob. Okay, he said Jacob because again you have to understand the story between those two sons, Jacob and Esau. All right, again, read Malachi, the first chapter, okay? Read on down, all right? So the Lord deals with Jacob, okay? And Jacob's name was changed to what? Israel, okay? So here, Isaiah 14 and 1, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, okay? So the Israelites, all right? And set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So the strangers going into, because we were aliens from the covenant. All right, we didn't know that we were those people. Okay, so us being brought back to this knowledge. Okay, before time we were called strangers. Okay, because alien and stranger is pretty much the same word. All right, it means the same thing. All right, so then the stranger shall be joined with them. Okay, going into what you would call the unnatural Gentiles. Okay, our people in the Gentile state of mind. All right, but they're going to be woken up. All right. Okay, continuing, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. All right, so cleave, okay, because they're a part of it, okay. But the point here, verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. Okay, so now this is talking about the other heathen nations. Okay, all right, going into Moab, all right, Ammon. Okay, you have all the sons of Ham. Okay, and the Japhites. All right, all the heathen nations. Okay, and then especially Esau, Edom, so-called white men. All right, it says, continuing, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, YAHAWASHI. Okay, so we're going to get back our holy land, all right, after it's cleansed by these thermonuclear missiles. Let's continue, for servants and handmaids, for slaves, okay. So, let me get Obadiah okay? And going into, what you did unto us is going to be done unto you, okay? And it said double, all right? You're going to drink of double. So it's going to be even a harsher slavery, because you go into documentaries and you can read articles and get some pictures of what happened to our people, being hanged from a tree, all right, being set on fire, barbecues, all right? But the Lord talks about, us putting his fear in us. Not his fear, his anger. Okay, of course his fear, but I meant to say anger, okay? His fury, okay? You shall do unto Edom according to mine anger, all right? So we're not even mad enough. The Lord's going to put a godly anger in us, all right, to execute his vengeance, okay? Because what the Lord said, ye are my battle axes and weapons of war, all right? But here it says, and they shall take them captives who captives they were. So we were captives, which we still are now, because we're hastening to be loosed, all right? We're captives to these damn devils, okay? The other heathen nations, we're at the bottom, okay? But all them, okay, it says, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were. So our people are scattered all over the world, okay? So they're captives under the Moabites, captives under the Ammonites, okay? And ultimately, again, because who's at the top, Esau, even the so-called white man, all right? Continuing, whose captives they were, right? And they shall rule over their oppressors. So who are our oppressors, okay? We're oppressed. We're an oppressed, poor, and afflicted people, okay? But we're going to rule over our oppressors, okay? So again, at the top is Esau, even the so-called white man, all right? So this doesn't have to be long, but this is prophecy and this is destiny, okay? Because the Lord said, it is a righteous thing to recompense them who trouble thee, roughly paraphrasing, all right? But here's this book of Obadiah. Obadiah. It's only one chapter, and I'll start at verse 15. For the day of the Lord Yahawah is near, YAHAWASHI is near upon all the heathen. So all the heathen, okay? And all the heathen includes who? 2/3 of our own people, okay? Because right now they're considered heathens, all right? Gentiles, all right? Which they're not supposed to be. But again, according to prophecy, the Lord has gave them up to their own delusions, all right? And blinded them, all right? Nonetheless, they'll wake up in the kingdom in their right mind, but they're still Israelites. All right, continuing. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. All right, so this is specifically going into the other heathens, because 2/3 of people are not going into slavery, okay? They're just going to die and wake up in the kingdom. But you other nations, if you die on the side, you're going to wake up into slavery. And if you're first fruits in the kingdom, you're going to have, it's because it's a balance, okay? It says, blessed are they going to the first fruits of the kingdom, all right? But it's going to be cursed to you with the first fruits of slavery, okay? This is Obadiah in verse 15. For the day of the Lord Yahawah BAHASHI is upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Okay, so what you done unto us, you're making creative ways and trying to find ways to destroy us, going to your scientists, going into your witchcraft, all right? Trying to find ways to destroy us, finding, you had Jim Crow, now you got redlining, you got gentrification, okay? It's going to be done unto you, okay? And it's going to be worse, okay? It says thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So it's gonna come back onto you. Okay, that's what you will call karma. Okay. Verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Okay, so going to that drinking of the cup is slavery. Okay, constantly our people are being taken advantage of, and used, all right, for profit, okay? Because again, think about the origins of this nation, going to so-called America. We built this kingdom, all right, but we don't bear any fruit of it, okay? We're still servants, and we don't get no credit for it, all right? But it says, so shall all the heathen drink continually, because they're going to be under subjection of us, okay? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans are the Israelites, okay? We're not going to be saying so-called in the kingdom, okay? We are, all right? But we use terms of reference so you can understand what we're talking about, all right? When we're teaching, all right? But it says verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Okay, so only the Lord's coming to save his people, all right? Only repentance unto Israel, because repentance means to bring back or turn back, okay? So you can't be brought back to something you don't belong to, okay? So only out of Mount Zion is going to be deliverance, okay? And at this time, only the elect are going to be saved, okay? It says in verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, right? Because Esau, the white man, he's getting ready to be done away with after his long, harsh, slow time of slavery, all right? and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord YAHAWASHI has spoken it. So now Esau is not going to be found no more, okay? Because it goes into, where is he? Okay, he's going to pass away like a dream. Okay, he's going to, pretty much perish like his own dung. Okay, he's just going to disappear and go back into the earth. All right, meaning his body, and then, whatever the Lord does with his spirit, recycle it or whatever. But nonetheless, the house of Esau is going to be done. Okay, never going to be spoken of again, besides if we read in the scrolls. Okay, going into, what actually happened here in the time of Job 9:24. All right, the earth being given into the hand of the wicked. But here, I can probably close out here. This is Job 27. There's more precept. I know in Jeremiah it says they that all that devoured shall be devoured. All right, in the book of Jeremiah. There's plenty of examples, but again, the scriptures all saying the same thing. Okay, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, the Americans, the Israelites are going to be on top. Okay, top of the mountain. The other nations are going to be under. Okay, and Esau, Edom, you're gonna really be under. Okay, until you're done away with. Job 27. I started verse 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. Okay, YAHAWASHI. Okay, so this is the heritage of the oppressor. This is verse 14. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. Okay, so Esau spreading like a green bay tree. He's being multiplied to be an example. Okay, he's going to be destroyed. Okay, it says, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Okay, so no more you're going to be passing on this wicked inheritance onto your children. Okay, leaving your substance onto your babes. Okay, and that's why it says, prepare slaughter for the children for the iniquity of their fathers. Okay, so they're not off the hook either. All right, because you are your fathers. All right, this is verse 15. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. So even your wives, okay, you're going to you Edomites, so-called white men, your women are not going to mourn for you, okay, because they hate you. All right, they're going to be choosy in that day, okay, because power is being transferred. All right, they're not going to weep for you. All right. And a lot of them are telling on you. Okay, you can go into those whistleblowers. A lot of them are women. Okay, verse 16. Though he heap up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. Okay, because like it says in the book of James, you have heaped treasures together for the last days. Okay, you're really just doing us a favor. You're pretty much making it easier for us. Okay, you got everything hoarded, in your bunkers, and you got probably stuff put in space. Okay. You put it all in one concentration where it's shit. You just grab it up, and it says the just shall divide the silver. Okay, meaning the spoils. Okay, so it's not just, it's of course silver. You got gold. Okay, not pretty much all the resources, because going into energy, it's not destroyed. It's transferred. So a transfer of power is coming. All right, and this is what we call righteous rulership under YAHAWASHI when he cracks the skies. Going into a war in heaven, which is going to be a landslide victory. All right, and the Lord's going to put everything under his feet. Okay, and with that, he's going to have his heirs, his joint heirs, going into his servants. All right, going into his brethren. Okay, the 144,000, and mainly, and then under that would be the 1/3. Okay, and go into the ranking order. Okay, and when 2/3 start coming back and being born, they're gonna get back on that pyramid too. Okay, they're gonna always, the most wickedest nigga in Israel, he's gonna be blessed. Okay, he's gonna be far more superior than any other heathen nation, not even close to comparison. All right, but this is the heritage of the servants of YAHAWASHI, okay, which is promised to them as righteousness. Okay, new bodies. Okay, reading the book of John, many mansions. All right, so that's why going into the patience and the faith of the saints. Okay, we're suffering it now because it's all going to be worth it in the end. All right, so with that, those words be edifying. As always, going to give all praise to YAHAWASHI, by Hashem, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace and blessings to the whole faith of Israel. Shalom.